Hello, welcome to episode number 371 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. This is going to be Starrcade, the WCW One Night Stand quote-unquote event, here for Saturday, week 4 of May 2023. And we've got two War Games matches, one for the men, Cody Rhodes and his club against Planet Jarrett, and one for the women will be Next Gen against 5 WWE Hall of Famers. And we've got a Cruiserweight Championship match, throwing it back with Ray versus Hoovy. We got two Women's Championship matches. We've got a World Heavyweight Championship match, got a Women's Tag Team Championship match, and we've got Karrion Kross versus Goldberg. Plus, the finale of this arc of my wrestling academia. Without any more further ado, though, let's jump straight into the show. No kickoff matches. I didn't book a kickoff match for some reason for this pay-per-view. So we're going to get straight into the Welcome to Starrcade banner. We've got 50,000 people in the Georgia Dome. Or event. Just the event for Atlanta in this game just capped it at 50. But I think we could have got 75,000 if there was a big enough stadium. So if the Georgia Dome can hold that, then that's how much we filled in. But yeah, welcome to Starrcade for this one-off. It's not even that much of a real pay-per-view. It's more of like just a big special. Because like the stakes aren't that high on it. It's just a nice thing to do. But yeah, you'd think we'd kick things off with War Games, but that'll be the second match on the card because this is a WCW throwback One Night Stand show. So what better way to kick it off than with a Cruiserweight Championship match? Gets a 72, which for a match that involves Juventud in 2023, I get is fine. But yeah, a decent match. Obviously, Ray's going to retain here. He defeats Juventud Guerrera in 12:34. Pinfall 619 into a flying splash to make defense number 3 of the Cruiserweight Championship. 72 for Ray, 45 for Hoovy. And yeah, we're throwing it back. I don't know if these two ever faced off in WCW. I think that might be more of an ECW thing. But they were both there, so I guess that counts. Obviously, I can't do Eddie, so this was the next best option I had. This is the first real, major, WCW One Night Stand style match. The rest just have subtle references to the company. And yeah, after the match, Ray and Hoovy shake hands. All the Mexicals are in the ring, and they will shake hands with Ray. When all of a sudden Rey Mysterio is dropped by a rolling stunner from Grayson Waller. Yeah, how'd you like that one, lad? Huh? That's gonna be you Monday night when I get in Money in the Bank and I'll take it down. My best friend Dominik Mysterio, he's going to beat your ass too, lad. And the rest of the Mexicals are jumped by the Nice business. Well, not the entire Nice business, just Dom and Anthony Nice. And they beat up Super Crazy, Psychosis and Hoovy, all three of them. Ray comes back, so they've actually got the odds in the babyface's favour this time. And then Ray, he drop kicks Grayson Waller in the back. He gets ready for a 619. He bounces off the back rope. But then when he runs to go and hit Waller with the 619, he's caught by Scripps, who flies in from off screen. If you've seen Scripps in NXT, you know the thing that they do for him to try and make him look cool and make us forget that he's Reggie. He does that to Ray, and he writes Scripps in the air, and he leaves a calling card or whatever on the Cruiserweight Championship. So you may know who's next in line for Rey Mysterio coming out of Starrcade. But at Starrcade, he defeated an old foe in Juventud Guerrera. War Games. 40 rating for this hype package. Kathy Cool and Lita. A feud that's been building up. We've had the opening 2 matches of this show have been a Velocity feud and now a Heat feud. So yeah, if you're not watching the B shows, you're completely lost for the first hour of this pay-per-view. But yeah, it's going to be Next Gen's entire group, that being Kathy Cool, Tracy Sharrow, Lucy Stryker, Samantha Riggs, and Nene Arizawa, against Lita, Trish Stratus, Beth Phoenix, Medusa, and Molly Holly, the 5 WWE Hall of Famers. Medusa, of course, under that name, because this is WCW One Night Stand, not WWE, so we've got to reference her time in that company. Not expecting great from this. 60 is actually much better than I thought it would be. And yeah, it's fine. I don't care about what ratings the gimmicks of Molly Holly and Medusa got there, only having one match ever. And yeah, we'd start the match with probably Tracy Sharrow herself and Trish. Then in comes Lucy Stryker. In comes Molly Holly. In comes Samantha Riggs. In comes Medusa. In comes Kathy Cool. In comes Beth. In comes the big girl, Nene Yarizawa, the muscle of Next Gen. And then finally, in comes Lita. And in the end, Kathy Cool, fuck's sake, submits Lita. She makes Lita tap out. It says she submitted Molly Holly, ignore that, she didn't, she submitted Lita. Submission because it is, War Games. And we want to play by actual War Games rules. Submit or surrender, whatever it is. And yeah, the Next Gen have taken out the old gen. Big win on pay-per-view for these girls, so hopefully they can get their popularity boosted up a little bit. 35 for Samantha, 39 for Lucy, 46 for Tracy, 34 for Nene and Kathy, 19 for Medusa, 26 for Molly, 60 for Beth, 62 for Lita, and a 73 Trish, carrying this match to making it passable. So good work, Trish. You might even get a hug for that, because you did a good job making fans care about this match, and I appreciate it. After that, though, a match we all care about for the No. I've caught myself. Not for the SmackDown Women's Championship. For the WWE Women's World title. It's Candice LeRae against Liv Morgan. 24 hours build for this match. It was just announced on yesterday's SmackDown. Based on Candice the week before running in and showing off her Women's World title in the locker room. Liv was still angry that she lost the tag titles. She got in Candice's face yesterday and was like, well, if you want to be a real champion, defend it against me, bitch. And now here we are. Shida in Liv's corner, of course. Her tag team partner. And it goes 14-23. It's nice and close. Liv does run her close. Candice hits a lion salt, but Liv gets her foot on the rope. And we think that's it. And there'll be a time where Liv would hit the Oblivion, and we'd think if that was it, but Candice would kick out. Then in the end, Liv's getting desperate, and she tries to do something to try and get the job. She's being overly aggressive to try and beat Candice, because again, I don't mean to keep doing this. Candice is defending against strictly baby faces since she won the belt, other than Bayley at WrestleMania. But because she's against our babyface champion, they've got to have Liv by proxy work heel, so she got to be a bit more aggressive. She does no, stop that. They have a bit of a scuffle. I imagine the scene would then be Candice would go to roll up Liv, and then do the thing where she grabs her from behind and pushes her forward off the ropes. Then when Liv hits the rope, she bumps onto Shida on the apron. Shida takes the fall, and Candice rolls up Liv to score the pin to retain the title in 14-23. 80 for Candice, 70 for Liv. She seemed off her game, which, come on, you're the Women's World Champion. You gotta do better than that. After the match, Candice is celebrating, Liv's on her feet, and she's she doesn't hit Candice, but she just she gets up and she just aggressively turns her around and starts shouting at her. It's what the hell are you doing? I had you beat. She's shouting at Candice, and Shida comes in, she's tries to tell Liv to calm down. And then Liv, I imagine, would shove Shida to the floor, and then shove Candice to the floor. But on her way to shove Candice down, she forced Shida off her because she was trying to stop her from shoving Candice down, but she tossed her to the floor, which got the big ooh, and then she did shove Candice down as well. She's like, bitch, watch me, give me one more shot and I'll take that title from you. And Candice is well, okay, fine. If this is how it's gonna be, this is how it's gonna be, I guess. 70 rated match, which is as good as it's gonna get because of the time it's going. Karrion Kross versus Goldberg. Karrion Kross makes his way to the ring. He's got Cox and Cutler's quote-unquote souls with him, with those tarot cards with their faces on. And in comes Goldberg. He's full of piss and vinegar. He's pyros going off again. Goldberg back in the Georgia Dome. And the match starts. Karrion's here, come on, kid, come at me. Pie faces Goldberg, turns around, Goldberg spears the fuck out of Karrion Kross. He spears the fuck out of Karrion Kross again. It's yeah! He gets him up for a jackhammer, but Karrion Kross pokes him in the eye. And then Karrion Kross, as he was entering the ring, we didn't see, he took one of the turnbuckle pads off, and Karrion Kross shoves Goldberg into the exposed turnbuckle. Referee doesn't see it. And then Goldberg hits that, Karrion Kross hits that nothing personnel. And beats Goldberg. In an extremely short match, Karrion Kross shocks the world. Because you all thought he was getting jobbed out here. 76 for Karrion, 66 for Goldberg. And, yeah. Karrion, his friends are dead. And he's now a madman. Possessed. $71, I'll take that here. Yeah, it's the women's tag title match. It's Ivy and Tatum against Meiko Satomura and Aoi Makara of Ichiban. You know, Meiko has wrestled on WCW before, so this seemed like the fitting place to do that match. And yeah, we don't have new champions. We retain the belts. Ivy and Tatum defeat Meiko and Ivy. Ivy and Tatum defeat Meiko and Aoi when Tatum pins Meiko with a Paxplex to make defense number 2 of the women's tag team titles. 46 for Meiko, 67 for Aoi, 59 for Ivy, and a 67 for Tatum. Yeah, not much else to say there, if I'm honest. They get a hype video for the tag team title match, you know. I'm hoping this was one of the biggest matches on the card, because it's the best two teams on Raw right now, I'd say. Path of the Dragon versus the Cyclone. You know, in the two singles matches these past 2 weeks, Bronson Reed beat Humberto Carrillo and Zergus beat Ricochet. No, Ricochet beat Zergus, so, you know, momentum is very much in the favour of the challengers heading into tonight. Will we see new champions? And an 84, you know, things just aren't hitting the same now with Humberto's injury. It's really dampening Path of the Dragon. I'm so tempted to cheat it off, but I won't. Yeah, 84, it's good, but it could have been better. And yeah, in 18 minutes and 26 seconds, we gave this match time. Path of the Dragon retain the Raw Tag Team Championships, and Humberto pins Ricochet with a moonsault. The dream run continues, and yeah, still Raw Tag Team Champions, Humberto and Zergus, for Akira, I guess. 76 for Humberto, 80 for Zergus, 93 for Bronson Reed, and 95 for Ricochet. Yeah, big tag team match and a big retention. And after the match, I believe I put in a handshake. I didn't, but there is one. Okay. But then we get a hype package for this match for the WWE Women's Championship. Charlotte Flair makes her first defense of her new belt that she got gifted on Monday against her former protege, Danny Jordan. You know, we know the story here. Danny won that Queen's Gambit Battle Royal. Like, Charlotte thought she'd banned all of her viable challenges. And she's like, well, you've been trying to get me to stop showing up to this match because you're scared you know how good I truly am where no one else does. But it hasn't happened. Jordan may have one leg or whatever, but it's time for her to prove if she can hang with the Queen. In 86. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good effort. But I probably haven't got the graphic up because this was more just an experience thing for having to have Danny in that slot to see how she'd hang, and she hanged pretty well. But she's not taking the title here. Charlotte wins in 14:28, figure 8. She has that injured knee because of Rhea Ripley's prism trap thing a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, Charlotte retains the belt, defense number 5 of the women's title. But first defense of the WWE Women's title, the other one's of the Raw Women's title. 89 for Charlotte, 77 for Danny. And then after the match, Ava and Ariana Grace run in, and they start attacking Danny Jordan while she's down. Like, 2-on-1 assault. And then they probably stand her up, and Charlotte's like, get her up, in position for a big boot. In rush Aaliyah and Skylar to try and save the day for Jordan. And then Ariana and Ava drop Danny, fight those two off. Charlotte boots them, but so the heels are still on the upper hand here, and they're beating the fuck out of the 3 former members of the Queen's Court, you know, Charlotte's former apprentices. And then out storms Nova. She's back. She's been away for a couple of weeks, but she's here, and she's still got a bone to pick with Charlotte. She charges into the ring. She takes Charlotte down, like big takedown. Starts raining punches on her. Ariana and Ava try and fight her off, but of course the faces get back up, and now the Royal Dynasty are outnumbered. They take care of Ariana and Ava, and then Nova drops Charlotte with that Big Bang Theory, and she picks up that WWE Women's title and gives it a look, implying this isn't over. You may have got out of WrestleMania with that belt, but I would have won this shot if you didn't ban me from that Battle Royal. And now Nova is here, ready to take aim once again at the Queen, it seems. We then cut back to the Dungeon of Doom. Where we ended last time was our heroes Dark Dio, Dark Manny-kun, Dark Saray had been possessed by the Dark Father. And yeah, Sensei and Colin requesting to save them. There was a bit of a miscommunication where they were trying to summon Hulk Hogan, accidentally summoned Joe Hendry. But it is now a 4-on-4 fight. Yeah. I will stress, in the following quote-unquote match, I haven't said as a match in the game, a cinematic match, but it's not an actual match. It's not an actual match, it's a cinematic fight. So Hogan can be there, and people can bounce off him, but all he's got to do is go, "Oh, brother," and maybe a big boot. So it's not like he's actually wrestling. And also, he's being played by a surrogate. So even in the game, it's not actually a Hulk Hogan match. I believe he's being played by Von Wagner, if you're curious. And same with James Mitchell. He's being played by a Regen, because obviously James Mitchell was not a wrestler. But then we get the big anime fight in the Dungeon of Doom, and our heroes save the day. Young Sensei Colin of C, Joe Hendry and Hulk Hogan defeat the Dark Father and our possessed friends when Young Sensei knocks out the Dark Father in an 8-minute fight. And I imagine the finish would obviously be the pit that he knocked our heroes in to take their souls, or whatever, opens up. He goes to throw somebody in, probably Carland. Or no, probably Hogan, because he's trying to finally get revenge on the Hulkster for what happened all those years ago. But Carland knocks him in, and then once he gets knocked in, he dies, and then the souls of the people he trapped get freed, and they enter the bodies of Dio, Manny, and Saray, among others. But other people off screen that we don't care about, But our heroes have been saved. If you told me 3 years ago that this match would be happening, I probably would have believed you, to be honest. But yeah, here we are. Hulk Hogan got a 46, so again, that's actually Von Wagner scoring that. So, maybe we'll see him pop up soon. Golly gee. Yeah. So that's not actually technically a Hulk... I want to stress that that's not technically a Hulk Hogan match. It's more of a Hulk Hogan fight scene. Then come back to the ring. Scott Steiner and Bronson Steiner in the ring. He goes, "Listen up, you fat asses. It wouldn't be WCW Starrcade without big bad booty daddy right here. And this time I ain't alone, because I ain't got my brother by my side, but I've got his baby boy, the new best thing in the Steiner family, the man carrying on the dynasty, Bronson Steiner himself. And he's going to prove to you why the new legacy of the Steiner family is right now, when he beats up this guy." And it's Hank Walker just in the ring in his normal clothes. He gets beaten up by Bronson Steiner in 3 minutes 19 with a Steiner recliner. Apparently there was any psychology. The match was a disjointed mess. I scripted this. No, I didn't script. Oh, I did, yeah. Scripted 3 minutes. And it was a disjointed mess. Okay, who the fuck was the road agent here? Jeff Jarrett. Oh, he was busy. He's got War Games to prepare for. That's why he didn't really care for this. But yeah, it's got Bronson Steiner with a Steiner recliner. Picks up the win. Speaking of Jeff Jarrett's War Games, Planet Jarrett versus the American Nightmare Club. Randomly started a feud here. I was going to do a title match between the two at some point, but I just didn't have enough time. But yes, here we are. The Carnies against Cody and his boys, who are Adam Cole, Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles, and Finn Balor, as we get ready for the second and final match, the second War Games match of the night, and the final match of the night, the main event here on the Georgia Dome. Whoa! Gets an 86. Fucking hell. But yes, it is Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, Adam Cole, AJ Styles, and Finn Balor against Jeff Jarrett, Baron Corbin, Cameron Grimes, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. On which we open the match, Adam Cole will demand to start, and probably Cameron Grimes for the other team. And then, because the faces won the advantage, the first man to come in is AJ Styles, then Baron Corbin, then Finn Balor, then Carl Anderson, then Drew McIntyre, then Luke Gallows, then Cody, and finally good old Double J himself. And he'd bring the guitar in, and there'll be all sorts of weapons in the ring. And yeah, they're just using the weapons. I imagine at some point a chain is involved. And in the end, it ends with Cody going up top. He hits a big moonsault off the top of the cage onto everybody on the floor. And then he locks Baron Corbin into the figure 4 leg lock. And Corbin submits. A Rhodes using a figure 4 in War Games, you know. Never thought I'd see the day, but here we are. The American Nightmare, Drew McIntyre, Adam Cole, Styles and Finn. You know, Flair won and Rhodes won, so that's your Starrcade. 81 for Finn, 80 for AJ, 90 for Adam Cole, 94 for Drew, 88 for Cody, 74 for Carl Anderson, 57 for Luke Gallows, 73 for Cameron Grimes, 80 for Baron Corbin, and a 50 for Jeff Jarrett. Yeah, then after the match, you know, it's big celebrations. You know, I imagine the scene is Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Finn and AJ on one corner of each side of the ring, and Adam Cole, like the Paragon boys, running and celebrating Adam Cole, but they're in the other ring. So one ring's got, the other got all members of the team in one ring, and then Adam Cole and the rest of the Paragon boys are celebrating in the other ring. And then Cody sort of looks across, he's like, "What are you doing, man? We won, come on, come over here." And Cole's like, "Really? Okay, yeah, fine." And he goes and celebrates with the rest of the boys. And the Paragon boys are just like watching, what the fuck's he doing? Like, why is he celebrating with them and not us? We came in here. And Adam Cole raises the hands of Cody, Drew, Finn, and AJ. And we keep celebrating. And there's a lovely moment. The babyfaces leave the ring. AJ Styles and Finn exit out of the stairs. Drew McIntyre follows them. And Cody, he gives one last kiss to his hand and waves goodbye to the crowd. When he's jumped from behind by Adam Cole. And the Paragon boys lock the cage door so the other people can't get in. And Cody he's been bamboozled. It was all a hoodwink this entire time. Adam Cole and the Paragon have Cody trapped in the War Games cage. And they start beating the fuck out of him. He's bleeding, you know he's bleeding. And that chain that I mentioned earlier on, yeah, we're going to use that to lock the door shut. So Drew and AJ and Finn are trying to get in, but they can't. They probably start to climb the cage, but keep getting knocked off by the other people with weapons on the inside. And then Adam Cole lowers his knee pad, delivers the boom to the back of the American Nightmare's head. And Starrcade ends. Bloody Rhodes down on the floor inside War Games. Adam Cole, baby. 94. You know, for something that was, let's be honest, a filler show. this was basically a pay-per-view in the same way that One Night in Tokyo was. As you can tell by that, there was a feud going on between Cody Rhodes and the Jeff. I mean, that was fun because it's funny booking Cody to get Corbin, but I'm glad we're past it now. It was a good bit, but it's over. We've now got a proper feud for Cody coming out of this, and we have a devastating new challenger, Adam Cole, baby, and the Paragon, an actual group. Yeah, we also saw Next Gen win, Candice retained, but a bit of chicanery. Charlotte retained, but Nova Nebula back to try and claim her throne. And of course, our heroes have been unpossessed, thanks to the Hulkster, among other people. But join me next time for the fallout from Starrcade, and more importantly, the build to Money in the Bank. Over the past few weeks, I have been saying Money in the Bank is in London, but we're not doing Money in the Bank in the O2, we're doing Money in the Bank at Tottenham. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. They've got 6 shows to go before then, the first being 372 next time. See you then.